Welcome back, everyone, to Newsfist. Tonight, the strange case of FTX. Yes, I covered this on the live stream, but I didn't get many people watching it, so we're going to do this one again. Yes, FTX, the crypto exchange, exploded in a massive gout of digital salt money-making crypto bro tears, which of course is probably highly amusing for, those people who hate all those who talk about crypto and are like, oh my god, can you just lose all your money, please, so that we don't have to listen to you bastards talk about it anymore. Well, it looks like you've gotten your wish. FTX has imploded, taking a sort of unknown amount of money with it so far. Estimates are in the billions. Clients losing, I've heard figures of $500 million, 700 million. Nobody really knows probably at this stage exactly how much money has been lost. That is the kind of thing that will be left to the auditors to discover, and for the wives of any men unfortunate enough to have invested their money in FTX to tell their poor wives and presumably now starving children. Now, obviously, the normies will be like, well, you shouldn't have invested in digital funny money in the first place, and I suppose maybe there's something to that. Remember always, people, if you put stuff in a dodgy bank, it's not really yours. And if they own your keys, or if they own your gold, or they own your assets, and something happens to the bank, well, you are screwed. So we're going to do a very, very quick timeline of what happened with FTX and some of the dodgy stuff around it. As you can see here, this is the chart for FTT, which is FTX's basic token that they magicked up out of nothing, their magical funny money. And as you can see, on the 7th of December, almost a week ago, it was riding high at a sweet $23. And then, oh my god, it just dies in the ass, crashing all the way down to about $2 before rebounding briefly. And now it is down at 1.4. Truly a tragic loss, especially since FTX, the owner of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, had used these coins as collateral to get an insane amount of loans from gullible people on Wall Street and buy up a whole bunch of other crypto companies. And this is probably going to start a sort of secondary effect where the other companies that were bought out by FTX will probably also be discovered to be basically worthless, all of their customer money having been sucked out to line the pockets of the various people who, well, were running FTX. So this all started on November 2nd with CoinDesk, the crypto newspaper, publishing a key balance sheet details of Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Research trading firm, which was the sort of trading arm of FTX. FTX was the exchange. Alameda was the corporation next to it that did all the sort of fancy trading. Yield farming, I believe it's called. I'm not really sure how it works. Some kind of arbitrage. It sounds sort of dodgy to me. Indeed, there is actually an interview of one of the heads of Alameda saying that it sounded very, very dodgy to her, but she was eventually talked around to it. I think there's a lesson for that in that for all of us, ladies and gentlemen. November 6th, the head of Binance, Changpeng Zhao, said that he was selling his remaining FTT tokens. Minutes later, the head of Alameda Research, Carolyn Ellis, tweeted out that Alameda would buy the tokens for $22 each, which apparently they did, but it was only a temporary measure. On November 8th, the token fell below 22, and then it just slid downwards. November 8, Binance announced a non-binding letter to buy FTX. And then this bled into November 9, saying, oh yes, Binance is going to bail us out. This caused the value of the token to rebound. And then later the same day, Binance got a look at the FTX books and was like, nope, I'm out. No bueno. And basically then November 10, assets were frozen in the Bahamas. Always have your crypto company registered in the Bahamas, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's a very, very nice, sunny place, and the laws are very, very lax. There are also reports that Bankman-Fried and his sort of group of crypto kiddies were doing a lot of drugs and fucking each other senseless. Who could have imagined such a thing? Honestly, this whole thing is going to make such a great movie when they get around to it. I can see it now. And November 11, FTX filed for bankruptcy, and there are various stories swirling about as to what has actually happened to the heads of FTX. Some are saying that Bankman-Fried is in fact in custody or semi-custody in the Bahamas. Others are saying that Carolyn Ellis, the head of Alameda, is currently fleeing from Hong Kong to Argentina. The rumors are swirling around. No one really knows at the moment. I will keep you updated. However, there is another rather interesting angle to this. It seems that FTX was plugged very, very heavily into the US Democratic Party. Indeed, it seems that Bankman-Fried was in fact the second largest donor to the Democratic Party for the midterms after George Soros. Whoa, which is pretty hefty. I mean, not as hefty as Soros, obviously, but here is a little bit of a timeline. Thank you. This is a green text going around on Twitter and 4chan at the moment, just so you know. April 25th, 2019, Biden announces his presidential campaign. 13 days later, Sam Bankman-Fried, the son of Barbara Fried, Stanford professor and co-founder of political fundraising organization Mind the Gap, launches FTX crypto exchange. The exchange is magically an overnight success. SBF becomes the biggest donor to Biden. Wow. Election day, FTX implodes completely. And if you think this scandal is done, it goes even deeper. Gabe Bankman-Fried, brother to Sam, is founder of Guarding Against Pandemics. He was a legislative correspondent for the US House of Representatives and an advisor to large political donors in the Democrat Party. The family aunt, Linda Fried, is a WEF member on the Global Agenda Council for Aging. Awesome. The father, Joseph Bankman, is a Stanford professor who has lobbied on behalf of hedge fund managers before film records exist. And FTX's head of ventures and commercial at FTX Ventures, Amy Wu, started with the Clinton Foundation years ago. So as you can see, reports were the organization wanted to spend over $1 billion on the Democratic Party for 2024. And people are speculating that FTX was part of a massive blue money laundering ring, essentially, where various shady donations would be washed through crypto trades and then donated by FTX to the Democratic Party. And indeed, it also seems that Ukraine was involved in this. Yes, the billions of dollars that were being sent to Ukraine up until the war and before everyone started loving them. Literally the most corrupt country in Europe. Everybody knew it. Odysee, of course, being a particularly, dodgy city back in time immemorial, where if you wanted to buy black market guns or slaves, Odysee was the place to go. Of course, then the war happened and everyone must Slava Ukraine, and all of that corruption was forgotten. Except, of course, it wasn't. And who did Ukraine get to set up their crypto fundraising? None other than FTX, of course. So if you ever donated crypto to the Ukrainians in hope to fighting the Russians, chances are it was not spent on fighting the Russians. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I know. The idea that the most corrupt country in Europe might not be 100% upfront when it comes to processing donations, I know, is shocking. It is a hard pill to swallow. I know. Hold me, Ukraine bros. Hold me. And then there is the other speculation that money that was sent to Ukraine, tens of billions potentially, this is from the Gateway Pundit, were transferred to Ukraine and then laundered back to the Democrats in the US. Now, this is the way a lot of these sort of money laundering rings involving government traditionally work. So it works like this, right? You work for the government, right? So you vote a whole bunch of money for a thing, but you can't touch that money. So you make sure that the money goes to somewhere for some friends of yours, and then they give you a cut, which they back channel to you. So I'm a senator or a congressman or whatever. I am one of the people that crafts and votes for a bill that will result in billions of dollars being given to your district or your country or your war or your weapons program or, your pork barrel thing. And you cut a deal on the sly saying that X percentage of that money will be taken out, divvied up, and then returned to the people who made it all possible. However, it seems now the money is all gone. Not only is FTX bankrupt, but just after it collapsed, it turns out that malware bros siphoned more than 600 million in user accounts that were still left on FTX because FTX had frozen withdrawals and all of the crypto left in those user accounts just got schlepped away by malware, apparently. The story is that there was an update pushed to the FTX app, and as a result, it became malware and started siphoning stuff off and, stealing people's keys and all of that kind of stuff, adding to even more pain for the poor, unfortunate people who were holding currency on FTX. Of course, there's lots of other stuff about, how Bankman-Fried, this is he, looking like a sort of very, very messy mop head couch surfing dude bro. I don't know why you trust someone who looks like this and who's so young with billions and billions of dollars. But hey, what do I know, man? What do I know, right? I mean, everyone said he was a financial genius and enough people believed him and he had exactly the right contacts in the right places, So, obviously he deserved it. What will happen now with FTX? Will they discover where all the dirty money is going? Will they figure out where the allegedly 10 billion in client assets move from FTX to Alameda are? Will any of the poor suckers who invested in FTX get any of their money back? Probably not, bros. Probably not, I am sad to say. Will any of the suicides resulting from this crash ever see justice? We will never know. Will Sam Bankman-Fried get off with a small slap on the wrist? Will Carolyn Ellison be found sunning it up in Argentina or some other place without US extradition laws, sipping Mai Tais and taking amphetamine? We wait on tenterhooks, ladies and gentlemen. I will keep you all informed. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We're doing actually really, really well on Rumble. Very, very well on Rumble. If you are watching this on Rumble, thank you very much, bros. Make sure to subscribe. We need to get to 100 subs on Rumble so we can start doing live streams. At the moment, I am live streaming on YouTube, and I can't say what I want, and I find that just very... I don't like it. And I think it makes me less engaging and funny, because a part of my brain has to be devoted to figuring out what I can and cannot say. So, subscribe on Rumble. You know you want to. If you're watching this on Rumble and you don't have an account, fucking sign up. Rumble's the next big thing, baby. Like YouTube, except, they won't yeet you and destroy your source of income for saying saucy stuff. Anyway, I will see you again in a couple of days. Good night!